In a world that's gone crazy, Pokemon has slowed down. And when I say slow down, we're talking about just a little bit. With all the big stuff sort of happened in the last couple of weeks, the last week itself has, like I said, not as much has happened. So in today's video, we'll be going into the journey together and some price updates again, but it's been out long enough to sort of see what's going on. And I know there's been a lot of talk of it crashing, but we'll go over that. Some new cards being revealed from Glow of Team Rocket. So obviously the Japanese set, which I'll update, and the prices on that because the booster box on that is absolutely ridiculous. Some new products that have come out on the Pokemon Center, some clothes, some from the 90s style, and some products. And I mentioned in my last weekly video update that there'll be a surprise, and that's right. At the end of this video, I will be opening up the surprise box. That's right, I told you, it's a surprise. What can I say? I've got one surprise box of Prismatic Evolutions to open. No idea what we're going to get inside apart from 4 packs. No idea what promo we're going to get, but we do get 4 packs. That's 4 packs. That's 4 chances to get a God pack, which I've never opened in my entire life, whether it's in Japanese or English, stream off stream. So let's hope we get to that. So we'll get into journey together and some of the prices. And like I said, there's been a lot of talk at the moment of this set dropping a lot. Is that the case? Well, we'll soon see. So we've got the Lily's Clefairy EX, which is the most expensive card from the set. We're talking about obviously and we're talking about the special illustration rare, of course. So it's the most expensive. It's obviously got Lily kneeling down with Clefairy looking very happy in sort of like a Meadowfield type background. And well, yes, it has dropped. And I guess the reason being is it was just so high. And again, you have seen on some of my previous videos that yes, cards are just ridiculously high when they first come out. And this set is no exception. So that might sway it looking like it's crashing, but is it just reaching what it should be in the first place? So at the top it's like $320 and now it's like $209. Again, that's like a drop of like 37% almost. Sounds like a lot, but again, this is more just it's finding its feet. You'll kind of be seeing that as we go through some of these other cards as well. We've got the Salamence special illustration rare, which obviously I spoke about as actually a really cool card in my last video that I didn't quite realize initially. And this one has again massively dropped. So $240 around sort of pre-release and before the set sort of came out. And it is now at $125. So we're talking about a 49% decrease. Again, sounds like it's absolutely crashing. Again, it was never a $240 card in the first place. So it being around the $120, $125 mark just actually makes more sense. And Zoroark. And here we have it. Out of these 3, the biggest percentage drop at 50%, almost 51%. So start at $220, has now dropped to about $106, $109. Now, just based on these first 3, should we be worried? Of course not. With Pokemon at the moment, and I think even throughout all of Scarlet and Violet, especially the last sort of 5-6 sets and 151, because of the Pokemon market and because of the sets, the price when they were pre-released and first revealed, naturally was like stupidly high. And they only had one way to go. There's very few cards that ever go up from that. Pikachu EX from Surging Sparks, for example, is an anomaly to that. But realistically, after pre-release and when the set comes out, the cards tank for the most part. Does that mean the set is crashing and we should be worried? No. And let's just get this out of the way. The set isn't crashing as such. It's just finding its real value in the current Pokemon market. Does that mean it could go up? Does it mean it could go down? Of course. And yes, these card prices could go down even more, especially as other sets come out. You know, when we get Destined Rivals coming out, people might forget about this set, you know, move on and these cards might drop. Obviously, I'm talking about the top cards at the moment. We also have Ionis Bellibolt EX, obviously the special illustration rare as well. And again, this started off around 136, has dropped down to 98. Again, it's a drop. TCG Player says it started off at $20. I have no idea how that's happened on here. Something doesn't add up. Again, it has dropped from about $137, give or take, to the $98. So it's at least a 30% drop, give or take, by maths. Just don't worry about that. And the last special illustration where we're going to talk about is obviously Hops Zacian EX. And out of all of them, this was the cheapest sort of to begin with at $178 and has dropped almost 60%. All the way down to what, $73 at the moment. So these are still expensive cards, don't get me wrong. They have crashed in terms of the percentage have come down. Again, nothing to worry about. This was always going to happen. And I will say 99.9% of the time, it is not worth buying these cards when they first come out because the prices are inflated. They will always come down. You will always get the occasional card where it doesn't happen. So Greninja EX, Pikachu X, or Fight Masquerade and Surging Sparks respectively. but we shouldn't be worried about that because that's anomalies. You can't base it around that. You need to base it around what the market and what the cards are doing in general. And for Pokemon, that means they drop. Does not mean they're crashing and anything to worry about. Doesn't mean that all of a sudden it's a bad set. It's what should be happening. At the moment, Journeys Together cards are trying to find their place in the market, what their true value is. Again, could go up or down. And the last special illustration rare, I believe, because there's only 6 in this set, so it is a small amount, I believe. Like, why am I now doubting myself? Is the Volcanion EX. So $65, which is the cheapest out of all of them, and is now around the $40 mark. I think this one will actually go up personally. This one is amazing artwork, potentially playable, but maybe not right now. Yeah, and I believe this one will definitely go up. I personally believe that. I'm not saying it's going to go up like 500%, but it's $40 now. It could go back up to $60. The only one I would say might go up. It's sort of tanked straight away, which is always going to do kind of thing, and it's kind of actually just stay fairly flat. So I think the fact it's staying flat could go up in the future. So one that's on my list. Keep an eye out going forward. Now I'm going to talk about the illustration rares. So I'm going to talk about 3 in particular. Technically 4, but I'll explain it in a second. So the big illustration rare from the set is the Articuno, and again, lovely artwork. And Scarlet and Violet era has become more, it's gotten more into its own, and the artwork has just become better and better. For whatever reason, the artwork in the Scarlet and Violet era has been amazing. It'll be interesting to see if that carries on into Gen 10 and the new era. Again, like all the cards, it tanks sort of on release, etc. by about 20%. Again, percentage sounds a lot, but in terms of money, that's nothing to worry about. So at the moment is about $40. I would almost say it's the same price as the Volcanion EX, so it just shows you actually how cheap the Volcanion EX one is as a special illustration rare. But yeah, Articuno is the most expensive illustration rare currently, as of time recording, around the $40 mark. Amazing card. Not everyone's favourite. The reason why I say that is because the next one on the list is Whale Lord. That's right. So I actually really like this with its sort of mouth just peeking the top of the water, with its entire body reaching the bottom, just to show its size. It's even got a little ship in the top right hand corner, just to prove how big this whale is. In terms of price, obviously it was like around the $60 mark when it first came out. Again, we're talking like pre-release prices again. Why would you ever buy it at that point? I don't know. And it's now dropped to about the $28 mark. So it will say around a 55% drop. Again, this market isn't crashing, it's just finding its real value. And I don't know why people are saying on YouTube, etc., that it's crashing. Oh my god, need to be careful. It's just dropped how all these sets are doing. Literally every single set in Scarlet and Violet has done this. This is not new. This is not a massive crash. Maybe because of what's happening in the Pokemon market, the prices for these cards were even more inflated. So the fact that it's dropped as much as it has might make people say it's crashed, but I just feel like it's just finding its floor. And even if, say, this card, which is around the $28 mark at the moment, came out at $65, maybe you go back a year ago, it might have come out at $50 instead of $65 at pre-release and then drop. So I feel like there's a bit of context that's needed in this. And the last illustration I'm going to go into, I'm not going to go into all of them. This isn't all about joining together. There's a few more in them, and sort of like I'll very quickly pop up their price charts on screen now. Essentially, they all follow similar. Some buck the trends because they kind of get the occasional illustration rare that gets forgotten about, so it goes up, but we're not talking massive increases. And sometimes they become popular only once they get open, so something to keep in mind, but nothing to worry about. So the actual card that we're going to look into at the moment is En's Reshiram. So the reason why I want to look at this one, because there's actually 2 versions of them. You've got the normal illustration rare, and then you've got the box topper. So the normal one, so obviously being the first card that was kind of revealed from this, so we all knew this was coming, even as a box topper. This was around the sort of $40 mark, and it's dropped to $20. So again, so 48%, give or take. Again, sounds like it's dropped so much, but again, I just feel like because this was the first one to be announced, first card that we saw, it just had a very high price point, and as I mentioned, maybe a year ago, it might have come out as a $30 card and dropped to 22, and percentage-wise, not as much. So, again, we shouldn't be worried about these price drops. They seem more than normal, but they're fairly. And then I just wanted to mention is the box topper. So it's got the Journey Together stamp on it, so it technically makes it rarer. So you think it's be more expensive, but actually most of the booster boxes that I know of have these in it. I know not every booster box has box topper in it, so hey ho. This one has dropped, if you look at TCG World, 75%. Why? Because before anything actually came out, This was being sold at $70. Now, again, I think this is someone going, why not? Let's just try and get as much as possible. Maybe I've got the stock in early, so trying to sell it on site. I don't know. But at the moment, this card has dropped all the way down to a $17, $16 card. It could keep dropping because actually there's so much of this. Now, there might be a difference between it being sealed and unsealed. Secondary market loves a sealed sort of promo, even though it's not a promo, it's a stamped card. Slightly different there. I'm going to go into like the differences in that. So yeah, so again, 75% drop. I feel like it's because someone decided to put this at $70 and it's kind of skewed it. So yeah, so that's joining together the prices. Yes, the entire set is dropping. Is it crashing? No. Why? Because there's context behind this. Every set does this. And because of the Pokemon market, the prices were so inflated in the first place that as it's now becoming, as the set is trying to find its place in the market and its price point, the percentage drops seem absolutely massive, but in reality, it's not. It's just what would have happened anyway. And a $20 card now, which might have come out initially as like an $80 card, you go, like I said, back a year ago, it might have only been a $50 card, but it was always going to hit that $20 mark. So like, just because it might have started higher does not mean the set is crashing. So I personally don't believe people and the hype that they say, oh, it's crashing. It's coming down as every Scarlet and Violet set has done. On more cheery news, however, we've got some new cards revealed from Glory of Team Rocket. And obviously there's quite a few cards being revealed at a time in terms of the normal cards, in terms of finding out what rules and what abilities and attacks they have. That's part of it. And the other part is obviously the artwork from the illustration rares, etc. As I mentioned in my last video, we had the Zemazenta, which looked really, really cool. Do we have any more? Of course we do. Of course we do. We've got Regirock EX. So the one that was revealed was actually just a basic EX. So there's a good chance this has an illustration rare. No guarantee. Not every EX card has one. There's a chance that this one does it. And essentially this kind of charges itself up to use its basic attack, doesn't do any damage, but it puts fighting energy from this card onto it. And then the next turn after, you essentially can use its bigger attack, which can do a lot of damage to a stage 2 Pokemon. And there's quite a lot of stage 2 Pokemon around, potentially in the new meta. We've then got the Glampel, Huntail, and Gorbis line that has been revealed. And in particular, Glampel, which is the basic Pokemon of this, which evolves sort of randomly into one of the others, at least Pokemon Go, for example. And then, but in particular, we're talking about Glampel because Glampel has an illustration rare. That's right. So, like I said, it can be a random Pokemon that gets illustration rare. Glampel, I have no idea why it does. I don't know if it's a popular Pokemon. That being said, really cool artwork actually. It kind of just fits the bill as such. And like I said, the artwork in the Scarlet and Violet era is amazing, and I think this does carry on from that. So yeah, a really cool illustration rare. Obviously, we want to see more of these illustration rares come out as well, not just the special illustration rares, because I feel like they take all the glory. Glory. Team Rocket. Anyway, moving on. Another card that was revealed, sort of the Blaziken line, so Torchic, Combustion, and Blaziken. So there's a chance Blaziken gets an illustration rare. Again, no guarantee, but you know, you look at these and there's a chance. That's just my opinion, technically speaking. So yeah, we get this line. How many starter or first partner Pokemon are we going to get in this set? Is it just going to be from one era? We're going to get multiple different ones, something to think about. Again, we've got the Annihilate in that as well. So, you know, the Mankey Primate Annihilate line that was also revealed. And then most recently, we got some more Team Rocket Pokemon revealed. That's right, we're all looking at Team Rocket because based on what's being revealed so far, and especially in the rules, in terms of having a bench of Team Rocket cards, etc., clearly need more Team Rocket Pokemon. So, we've got the legendary bird, so Moltres, Articuno, and Zapdos. However, Moltres is the only EX one. So you've got Team Rocket, Moltres EX. Then we've got Articuno and Zapdos. So it's interesting that only the Moltres is EX in this one. And I know in other times, Zapdos has been the only EX for like Pokemon 151. So yeah, so it's interesting that sometimes it's all of them that are the EXs, sometimes it's only one. It'd be really cool if we get these in illustration rares, or at least the Moltres illustration rare being a Team Rocket Pokemon. You can see him on your screen, but hang on, that's not just the only Pokemon we've got. We've got Team Rocket's Coffin. Now, I would have loved, being Coffin, to have James as the picture on it, but it's just a big grunt, so I'm not going to go into the abilities, I'm going to show him. Then you've got Team Rocket's Wheezing. Again, I would love to have James as the Pokemon, it's just a grunt. Then we get Team Rocket's Zubat, Golbat, and then Crobat EX. So we've got another Team Rocket EX Pokemon card. Again, it's just a grunt picture on it, so it's not a particular character. But already we now have two Team Rocket EX cards outside obviously the Mewtwo EX that has already been revealed. Oh, and before I forget, because people might out me, there's Team Rocket Sneasel, just for those that love Sneasel. We've also got some Team Rocket trainer cards that have also been recently revealed. So we've got Team Rocket's Great Ball, and the Team Rocket's Great Ball, just in case people think it's the same as a Great Ball, it's not. You flip a coin, if heads, search for an evolution Team Rocket Pokemon. If it's tails, search for a basic Team Rocket Pokemon. So actually a really cool card. Got Team Rocket's Venture Bomb. Flip a coin, if heads, put 2 damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon. If tails, put 2 damage counters on your active Pokemon. Absolutely hilarious. Love it. Team Rocket's Petrol, which is a trainer supporter card. Search your deck for a training card, reveal it, and put it into your hand. And then Team Rocket's Proton, which is a trainer. If you go first, it means you use a card during your first turn. Search your deck for up to 3 basic Team Rocket Pokemon, reveal them, and put them into your hand. That's all you need. Being able to play that turn 1, even if you go first, to fill up your bench. Buddy Puffy might not be enough. You might need to, if you want that, say, Mewtwo EX turn 1, and you want a bench of 3 of them for whatever reason, boom, Team Rocket's Proton. Absolutely amazing. What can I say? And if these cards, like the X is like the Moltres, do get a special illustration rare, being able to go turn 1, go boom, boom, boom. No, just me? Okay, cool. But hey, if I could fill my bench with like secret art rares on the first turn just from even going first, absolutely amazing. Just some new cards being revealed. There's more coming out, and obviously when I do the next one, whatever's come out since then, and obviously I will let you all know. And if it's summer, and if I missed some cards out, it might be from time of filming this. There's a slight delay in terms of like day I'm filming, and because I'm out celebrating my wedding anniversary, I've actually filmed this a little bit more in advance than I would ever normally do. So I do apologise if I have missed anything. Please let me know in the comments, and I will make sure it's added to the next one so everyone knows what's going on. On top of this, we have new sets revealed. And what do I mean by new sets? Well, we've got Fearless Terastal, which is a China set, a new set in China, and it's got exclusive Terra Arcanine EX. Actually looks really cool, and actually they're getting some amazing artwork themselves. And I guess one of the big ones is the Inferno X, which is a new set that's got like the trademark and that coming out. And the rumor mill as such, what is Inferno X is to do with Mega Charizard. Charizard is going to get its own set again. I guess every era is going to get a set, and Mega Charizard seems to be the choice this time. Mega Charizard, fan favorite, could be some very cool cards, could be reprints. I don't know, but the trademark's there for the Pokemon TCG, and it looks like we're going to get Mega Charizard, whether that's both versions or just one version. I don't know how they're going to do it. Mega Charizard is coming back by the looks of it. I'm just hoping Mega Gengar gets its own set and not just a deck. But anyway, different things altogether. So yes, here we go. We have the surprise box. So I managed to get hold of 2 of these. Absolutely amazing. I managed to get them from the Pokemon Center when they first came out. Got 2. They were delayed like everyone else's, but I got 2. I've opened up 1 because I had to buy. Sometimes you should not open stuff for yourself. I know I've got channel. Always open up film whatever I open. I did get a really cool card from it, so I'm hoping I get a cool card from this, but I will not reveal what card I got from that until the end, because I don't want to compare or fill you with false hope. Right. Oh, just literally knocked the entire desk around. So we're going to open this up. So for those of you who don't know what this is, this has got 4 packs of Prismatic in it and a promo card. And the promo is one of the evolutions, which is the crystallized basic EX version, but it's got the Prismatic Evolutions logo on it, similar to like End Reshiram. It's got the Journey Together on it. So here we go. This is a nice simple slidey slide, and then we get the box, and it makes for quite a cool storage box. And as we open it up, boom, boom, boom. Oh, this is no. There we go. And so we get the Jolteon EX. So let's just pop that here so you can all see it. So as you see, it's got the Prismatic Evolutions here, which is why like, the Umbreon one is obviously naturally the most expensive out of all of them. So I now have the Sylveon EX and the Jolteon EX. Question is, am I going to try and get all 9 of them? Probably not. Let me know down below in the comments if you are. But for now, I'm just going to accept the 2 that I do have. You then get some dividers, which are the evolutions, and they are on both sides. So we'll put them to one side. And then probably one of the biggest things everyone's waiting for is the 4 packs of Prismatic Evolutions. And then this just becomes a storage box if you want to use it as a storage box. You don't have to. So let's leave you up here. We've then got the 4 packs. Let's hope we get a God pack. It'd be really cool. I mean, it makes collecting the master set a lot easier. Okay, this is not a God pack. Or is it? It's definitely not a God pack. So you might have seen a lot of these cards already from other PokeTubers, but here we go on the channel. Oh, here we go. This is a Pokeball Reverse Holo. Always nice to get. As you guess, into a Monkey Dory. Oh, and a Holo Foil Lightning Energy and a QR code for everyone. Okay, first pack, not too bad. Pokeball Reverse Holo is actually really good. We cannot guarantee them. Again, the Master Ball, and this is the same card that we got the other one. So this set being and the same. Hang on a minute. If Bronzo and Bri are the same. Okay, first change. So what you would have realized is the set is quite small because a lot of it is like reprints of other cards to make sure the competitive format keeps the cards in a certain rotation. Here we go. Screamtail, Ogre's Mask, a normal Reverse Holo Techno Radar, a Bunnery. Boom. Okay, we do get a hit. We get the Herflame. We get the Herflame Mask Ogerpon EX. Okay, so not quite the big evolution card that we want, but it's a hit. So, you know, we haven't opened up cards on the channel for a little while, and that's probably, and it's mainly because we haven't opened up cards on the channel for a while, and it's just because the price of cards has just gone up and more difficult to get hold of, right? I don't know about you, but just going down to the local shops, it's 50-50. Actually, it's not even that, it's worse than that. It's a 10% chance if they have any. So, do we get anything big from this? Oh, Pokeball Reverse Holo. Here we go. Into Larry Skill, into a Fluttermane, and oh yeah, that is a reverse holo. That is a Holo Dark Energy, and there we go, QR code. Last pack magic. Come on, let's end this video. Again, if you enjoy these weekly updates, please support the channel by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, because as I grow this channel, you know, if it ever gets monetized, then I can buy more stuff and maybe spend a bit more money on stuff than I should, just to get the cards for you. Here we go. Last pack magic. Let's see what we can get. Master Ball Umbreon also, I would happily take. Festival Grounds. First Holo Droopy. First Holo Body Puffin. Into an Espeon. Okay, nothing from that. So there we have it. We pulled one card out of it. We got a couple of Pokeball Reverse Holos. I'm MH Pokemon. Thank you for joining us on this weekly update. Make sure you check out all the others, and I'm back for the next one. And with that, I will catch you next one. Take care. Bye.